Strange things happen on Friday the 13th, but on November 13, 2015, nothing strange happened in BYU's Marriott Center. In the first of a 4-game series between crosstown foes BYU and UVU, the Cougars routed the Wolverines 85-54 behind 20 points from Chase Fisher and a 17-point, 20-rebound double-double from Kyle Davis.
I remember clearly on the sideline thinking, this is my first game I've ever been a head coach in ever, and thinking, I wonder if there will ever be a game in my head coaching career where my team scores more than 10 points in the game. That's how it felt.
Honestly, it was funny to me, because you know everybody that was sitting on that bench with me was like, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna beat them next year.
I was just just thinking about how we have to get ready for next year, and we couldn't get embarrassed like that again.
Despite the 2015 loss, big things were in store for UVU. In the 2016 rematch, transfers had a vendetta to beat the Cougars.
And going into BYU, everyone had complete trust in each other, and we all had some, I guess it was just felt like a team vendetta to beat BYU.
Good afternoon once again from the Marriott Center. This afternoon is BYU and UVU, Utah Valley.
Well, I didn't think they had a chance. I don't think really anybody outside the locker room at UVU thought they had a chance realistically.
So I think going into that game, we knew that there was a chance because every time we would talk to anyone, any of the players, or we would talk to any of the coaches about this team and coming together and going into this season, there was just a confidence that they were exuding. You could feel it.
I remember that morning getting up with my wife and talking to her, just thinking, just wondering, it was a pretty traumatic experience the year before, and just wondering, how ready to go our guys were, and if we prepared them well enough, and if we could kind of respond to playing in that environment. It's such an incredible home court advantage.
It didn't take long for UVU to get hot. Connor Toolson hit a 3-pointer at the 15:36 mark of the first half. That started an 18-3 run that put UVU out in front, and it was on.
Yeah, obviously it felt good because it was a big game. I know there was a lot of people there that I knew that I grew up that were watching, so I wanted to play well and show people that I can play. So it definitely felt good.
All of UVU's scoring has come from outside the arc. Randolph inside the arc. Low to Neilson. There's the first 2-pointer.
We go into BYU, expect to win. We win. Nobody expected us to do it, and then we started making shots, and it was like, wow, we're really here.
Neilson will take a 3 up top. Bottom. Isaac Neilson gives UVU their first lead of this game. On the right side, he's open for 3. Bottom.
UVU to come in there and do what they did was unbelievable. No one was expecting it. I don't think anybody except maybe the UVU team themselves believed that they could do that.
At the top, gives over to Isaac Neilson. Here's another 3-pointer. Bottom! Back-to-back jacks from 6'11" Isaac Neilson.
Randolph. Neilson again, top of the key, and again. Timeout, Dave Rose. Back-to-back triples for Isaac Neilson. The former Cougar leads both teams in scoring right now.
Isaac Neilson, who BYU head coach, had told him at BYU, don't you ever take a 3. You're 6'11", don't you ever take a 3 shot. Isaac Neilson stands right in front of him. Boom, drains 3-pointers. And turns around to Coach Dave Rose and sort of winks at him just a little bit. I don't know. I didn't see Coach Rose's reaction, but I'm guessing he did not wink back.
That is not true. I never winked at Coach Rose. I didn't even look at Coach Rose during the game. I just kind of played.
Yeah, we're sitting up there in the crow's nest at the Marriott Center where they put the media, sitting next to Brad Kernow, and every time that they would fire away, drop, just right into the bottom. And we just, after every shot, we kept looking at each other. Like, this is really happening. Is they going to do this? This is what's going to happen right now. And just, they'd fire another shot from beyond the arc, drop it. And so you believed as the game went on, like, they just can't miss. This is just their day.
My favorite is just looking at the bench after we hit those threes and just seeing them all get excited, and all of us were all pumped.
Stops outside. He'll take a three. Bottom.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, okay, it was one three-pointer after another, and they kept going in, and I'm like, wow, this could be something special. But I still didn't believe until, in fact, I had 2 or 3 different leads written for my story that I kept having to change because I kept expecting BYU to turn it on and pull away.
It was a pretty fascinating run, and quite frankly, as it turns out, game was over then. Nobody realized it quite yet, but really that was it. That just took the wind out of BYU sails, and how sweet that was for UVU.
Well, our guys played fearlessly, and that's special. When you can get your team to play fearlessly and be the aggressor on every possession, it's a special place to be.
I don't even really like remember it being like that. Like after the game, I heard we made 18 threes, but in the game, it seemed like another game. Like, oh, you made a 3 here, you made a 3 here, but it turns out we made a lot of threes.
BYU did make a run and took a 1-point lead, including a Nick Emery 3-pointer and Braden Shaw putback with 10 seconds left in the first half.
A Poydras 3, no, the rebound to Mika. 40 seconds to go till halftime. BYU down 4. Emery, transition triple, got it! It's a 1-point game!
In the BYU game, it was like, this is fun. Like a 1-point game at BYU, what more could you ask for? Especially when you're expected to go in and get smacked. You know, it's like it's hard to want anything more from basketball, from life. Like those kind of games are what makes this game that we play so much fun.
Basketball front court. TJ has the steal. TJ breaking it away. 1-on-2. Lays it up. No. The tip. No. The follow. Yes, sir. And the Cougars take the lead.
So I remember thinking, this is gonna be a close game. You know, when Braden put the putback in, and but I love close games.
And I thought, UVU, here's the first pressure you've felt all season. Washington State, yeah, you came back against Washington State, couldn't quite take the lead there, and then lost it down the stretch. That's what's going to happen here? You're going to fold?
Yeah, just like I was saying, throughout the game, you just thought, okay, yeah, the nonsense is over. BYU settling down. They're going to take control of the game, and it just never really happened. You saw glimpses where BYU would get some momentum and come back, but the whole point was defense. They just could not stop anything UVU could do, and that's what dictated the game.
Honestly, I like close games. People hate when I say that, especially if they're cheering for me, because I mean they obviously want us to win. Gets them nervous, but I get excited during close games. So I was just excited that it's going to be a dogfight, and so they took the lead, and then we took the lead right back. It's just more fun, I feel like, that way. So
the BYU lead stuck for all of 10 seconds.
And in front with 10 seconds to go. Down to 6 seconds. Randolph with 5. Randolph with 4.
Toolson is.
2. It's a 3-pointer. It is banked in. It's banked in at halftime. Utah Valley with a banked-in 3 as the half comes to an end. And the Wolverines in the first half equal their scoring from the entire game last year here in the Marriott Center.
I was trying to get downhill, but, you know, I shot it. It felt good coming out my hands. I knew it was going in when I shot it. You know, I didn't know I was going to bank it, but, you know.
I just couldn't believe it went in. It was a crazy shot. And watching his reaction after he hit the shot, you know, the crowd had just retaken the lead. The crowd was going crazy. Brandon Randolph hits that shot and just silences them.
But I love close games. And I knew our team was very motivated. I knew that we were just going to keep at it. We weren't going to let up. And then B hit that shot, and it was just kind of relief. It was like, it was confirmation, like, yeah, we got this. We got this.
UVU hits, who was it? Brandon Randolph hits this miraculous 3-point shot right at halftime and turns around to the crowd and does the shh. And I thought, well, don't get cocky here, bud, but that's pretty dang impressive first half.
Well, they were talking before the game, the fans, kind of like basically making fun of us. And, I was just trying to, look, we're here to play. So, just, give them the finger.
Well, you love moments like that, because what it really says we're not going anywhere. What it really said to our guys, most importantly, it said it to all the fans and everybody watching TV, and certainly said it to BYU, but it said it to our guys. It said, we're not going anywhere.
UVU didn't go anywhere. The Wolverines scored 60 points in the second half to earn its first ever win over BYU, 114-101. 114 points marked the most scored in the Marriott Center by an opposing team ever.
Just absolutely stunned that the way the second half transpired, and to be able to put up 114 points against BYU in the Marriott Center was probably the biggest surprise in the history of Utah basketball, in my opinion, in Division I.
Usually, you kind of see those runs coming that a team's going to get over, but they're going to stop eventually. It's just like, okay, the nonsense is over. The favorite team's going to win, and it never stopped.
Randolph almost turns it over into Neilson, out to Poydras, three, good. Didn't have to shoot it. It was a good 6-7 feet beyond the three-point line. Utah Valley has made 18 threes. That's the ball game.
I was really proud of our guys for staying in the moment together. At that time we had no personal agendas. There was nobody on that team that wanted to be anywhere else doing anything else. There was nobody on that team that ever gave me big eyes where the moment seemed too big for them.
Brandon Randolph, double team, triple team in the backcourt. He gets it across midcourt anyway. Drives all the way, dishes off to Neilson, who slams it home and one, baby.
And we understand our competitiveness, so it was fun to beat them and put it on them. But then afterwards, we're friends again. So.
And so we knew right after the, I think like 8-minute mark we were up by double digits at that point already, and we had been leading the whole game. It was just fun. It was a lot of fun.
And so, everybody was just ready for this game. I feel like everybody was mentally prepared. Everybody was locked in to the game plan or what the coaches had for us.
It's tough. It's tough being, up there. You're writing for this school publication, so you don't want to be too, oh yeah, we've arrived, But definitely felt some pride. This is the days of 30-point blowouts against BYU are things of the past. BYU, I kind of saw it as their coming out party, their graduation from the little brother status that they'd held for so long.
UVU defeats BYU at the Marriott Center on the campus of BYU. Final score, Utah Valley 114, BYU 101.
The win was such a stunner, the Daily Herald mistakenly put USU instead of UVU on its teaser on November 30th, and ESPN anchor Kevin Connors gave his star of the night to the Wolverines.
We've been waiting a while to give it to you. 3 stars of the night brought to you by Gillette Pro Shield. Your boy KC is going off the radar tonight to bring you a story brewing just below the mountains in Orem, Utah. It's a story of discovery, as in, I just discovered they were a D1 hoops program. And an incredible story about a group coming together against the odds. Utah Valley University beat BYU today, 114-101. Wolverines banged home 18 threes. They scored the most points by an opponent ever in BYU's home gym and beat the Cougars for the first time in school history. By the way, BYU won last year's game by 31. Utah Valley has 13 new players on its roster and a new coach, former BYU assistant and NBA journeyman Mark Pope. All this just 3 nights after the Wolverines rallied from 27 down against Denver to complete one of the biggest comebacks in D1 history and the biggest in program history. I don't know about you, but I'm jumping on the bandwagon while there's still room. The Utah Valley Wolverines.
One thing is sure, Saturday, November 26, 2016, gave UVU bragging rights for the next year until the two teams meet again.